All right, so we are going to start a new project today. This is a big object. It is a plant stand. You're looking at it upside down, right? This part here is upside down, but it's a turtle that has a stand coming up out of its back on which you would put a flower pot or something. And it's broken quite a bit, but they're in fairly large pieces. We think we have all the pieces since it was broken in shipment, and when that happens, everything usually is still in the box that it was shipped in, which is the case here. This client brought me two items that are similar. The other one is an elephant version of this. This is the Tortoise. And the elephant isn't broken that bad. We decided to do a video on the repair of the Tortoise. So that's what we're going to do. So even these large pieces have cracks in them and need to be dealt with. There's a big one going down here on this one. There's another big one that runs down the side of this. There's some that run up on the inside. So we've got to chase down all those cracks, stop them from spreading, close them up, and bond them, and then we start assembling this object. And then after that, it's as usual, a cosmetic issue where we just fill and level and fill and level, and then we start doing decoration, starting with the background and working our way out to the foreground. So that's the next big job we're doing right here. So stay tuned. Alright, so I've got this all assembled, both halves about 95% assembled, and I need to address this gaping hole in the top. The problem is I don't have the pieces for it, so we need to fill that hole, and it's going to be a lot easier if I fill this hole before I glue the two halves of these two big halves together, because I can still get at both sides of it. And the plan here is to take this, I have a piece of cardboard with saran wrap on it, and I'm going to use this as a backing. I'll put this down on my table and then put the ceramic piece on top of it, and I'll have a flat base covering that hole. This right here in the center, this is flat, so this is perfect for this thing. I'll sit it on a table, and then I can fill it from the other side and get a nice smooth flat surface on this fill. Whereas if I did it normally, what I would do is I would make a slab out of my putty separate, and then trace it out on here and cut it out and fill this hole, weld that piece in with more putty. This way it's going to be stronger and probably more accurate and less work if I just do something like this. I'm going to take this, lay down my cardboard, and then put my ceramic on top of it, making sure I don't get any wrinkles in my plastic. And now I have a nice smooth surface on which to, it's sort of like a mold. I just press my material in there and it'll be nice and tight and filled perfectly. So I've got my epoxy putty mixed up and ready to stick in there. So here we go. And I'm going to do it by hand because it's a lot easier. I can't get a tool down in there and do what I need. So keep my fingers wet. Prevents the epoxy from sticking. And what I need to do is squeeze it into these tight corners, keeping downward pressure on my mold, on my backing. Going back in there. Pushed up tight against his edges and get a good seal on that. And we'll work our way around all the edges and work towards the center. First batch doesn't go very far. Well, we'll just keep mixing up batches and squeezing it in there until the hole's filled up. So we've got our hole filled, and you're seeing the inside of that, where I basically filled up that hole little by little with this A+B epoxy. It's a really hard, tough epoxy. And so when we peel this off of here, stick, then we can see this fill from the other side. Now it needs a little bit of work, but we've got a nice flat, hard fill on that. I need to dress up these edges, and I got a big crack going around here. But this is a really good fill. It's a slightly dished here. It sinks in. This will be level when I'm done. But we got the hole filled. So I'm just putting in the last few remaining unglued pieces in here. And the reason I waited is because I may need to wiggle these pieces around a little bit to get everything to fit around them. And if their glue's not dried, I can still move it around. But once it's locked into place, I got no playroom. But I still need to work quickly, so. I made a little handle so I can grab this piece and move it around if I need to. Because I won't be able to reach inside here once I get the top on there. Put this tail piece in here first because it's got all the jagged, uneven, strange shaped pieces, and gently lower the rest of it in place. Oh, yes. That's pretty darn good right there, actually. We are in need of a little friendly persuasion to get this thing to nest into place. And so I've got my mallet. Yeah, you don't usually think of a hammer as a porcelain repair tool, but it works. Pretty well, actually. Give it another little wipe. Okay, so now we just got to go around this whole big object and fill all these crack lines, all the glue joints, this crack I'm filling right now is pretty deep. It goes all the way through, but it's a big wide crack. So I'm cramming this epoxy in there so it fills it best I can. Alright, so I've completed the fills on the cracks and the voids, chips and all that sort of thing, and I just wanted to give you a look at how that came out. So the next step will be to file all these fills down, and I'll have to go around, go over them again. So it'll be at least one more, maybe two more rounds of fills and filing until we get this nice and level and good seamless joints on these cracks. Alright, so we've got the first round of fills and all the cracks and voids and chips and all that stuff. So time to file. So let's just start filing here. And Alright, so now we're the next day, and I've sanded all this and filed all these lines down where you saw the fills on them before, and I wanted to give you a look at what that looks like. So we filled this big hole in the top, leveled it, you know, and went around all these cracks and the voids that were missing pieces. Filled them all. We're going to do another round of fills on this, and hopefully that'll be enough. And then after that we'll start putting color on here. Alright, so we're getting ready to decorate this now. We get some real color on it. With last go around we did the background color, and I'm ready to start bringing in this the foliage. So today what we're going to do is the outlining on all the flowers and stuff where I've painted it. And because that's the way that this was decorated to begin with. They went around and did all the black outlines, and you can see that the glaze is applied over top of that. So we're going to decorate it the same way they did. And I don't know if we showed this in the last go round, but we had painted the top on this. There was a huge hole in here with all the pieces missing, so we just filled that and we painted in the background color, and we're not going to do any decorating up here except where it needs to be, where the cracks were. So that's what we're going to do today, is the outlining. So here we go. So we'll just tediously paint in all this jazz here. Alright, so I've done the outlining. Did a quick outlining of all this stuff, and I blended it into the existing. And went all the way around on this band. Some more up in here. Okay, so that's the probably the most difficult part of this painting, and right there, just getting all that in. And then we'll come back tomorrow. I'm going to get some cold glaze on top of that, and then we'll come back tomorrow and start putting some color on this. Okay, today we're going to put some color on here. That's it on the yellow. Alright, so now we're doing the brown on this border. Just to get the background level of this brown tone, and on top of that there's a brush stroke that goes around that's rather uneven. For now we're just getting the background in there. I've already done this side. Get some cold glaze on that to protect it. And while I'm at it, I'm going to fill in some of these same color here. Okay, so I'm ready to put some brown on this brush stroke through this band here. I've already got the background color, and I just need to get this brush stroke through it. And that's what I'm getting ready to do right now. Okay, so now we're doing this, starting on the greens. Right now I'm working on this light green. I'll do those petals here, or leaves. Alright, so now I'm going to start bringing in this darker green leaf color here, and I'm going to have to do this in several coats to build it up to the right shade. Okay, so here I am doing the second coat on another section. Okay, now we're finally done with the turtle, and it looks pretty good. And it was a pretty big mess when we started, as you can see by the before photo.